Hey everyone, I'm Busha. Welcome back to another video. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make synth pop. I'm going for like a Lauv style. To do that, I'll be remaking one of his songs, All for Nothing, and I'm going to go through the elements, the sounds, the mixing, the structure, everything for that song. So at the end of this tutorial, hopefully you can make something similar to that song. Set the tempo around 130 BPM, and I'm going to be splitting up this tutorial into intro and chorus. So starting with the intro, you're going to want to start with a guitar loop. Try to get it something like airy and very reverby and acoustic. And you could get this loop whether it's on splice.com or looperman.com. And then next I just have a simple bass line created from that guitar loop. Originally I had it like this, where it was just like the same note repeated over and over again, but try to make it a little bouncy, and the way to do that is by raising some notes an octave up like that. For the sounds, I have a preset from MHA's Vital Sound Bank Volume 1 and this Flex bass guitar preset right here. So the first one's a more acoustic-y analog type bass, and then the second one's more like a actual acoustic bass. And for mixing, I put a Fruity Blood overdrive on there just to give it some distortion a little bit. An EQ, I wanted some of the higher ends of the frequencies present, and a compressor so that the sound is the same level throughout the whole thing without really changing the volume. And now for the drums. I just have a simple kick snare rhythm. So starting off with the kick over here. To get a kind of synthetic kick that sounds like that, and then kind of a like more acoustic-y but still kind of synthetic snare like this. And I put the two in a rhythm that sounds like this. And that just kind of repeats throughout the entire intro until 2 bars in. You see 2 bars in. I have some hi-hats as well. I just have a couple loops right here. And on each of the drums, I have a Fruity Blood overdrive just to give it a little more power. I turn the color up and the distortion up a little bit as well. All the drums in the second part of the intro, 2 bars in, sound like this. Kind of more on the synthetic side of things. And for the chorus, what you're going to want to do is keep the guitar the same, but just increase the volume a little bit. As you see, I increased it by like 6 decibels. And I kept the bass line the same, but I just added some extra sounds layered onto it. I'll go through each of the sounds individually. I added this flex preset right here. And then I added 2 presets from various MHA Vital Sound Banks. So the first one's like an analog type bass, and then the second one's more like a punchy sub. And then lastly, I added a more synth wave type like electronic bass sounding thing from Flex, this preset right here. I also added some chords for the chorus. I used this preset from the synthwave pack from Flex, and the only mixing I did is I cut out the lows from that sound, and then I boosted a little bit of the highs over there. So those are the brass chords right there, but then I also have more chords over here that are just more synth based. And these are all Vital presets from MHA's Vital Sound Bank Volume 1, 2, and 3. So try to get like very synthy, loud synth pop type vibrant synth chords. That's what this one and this one are. And then this one right here is more like a background thing just to amplify that sound in the mix. For the mixing for this, I put Fruity Blood overdrive in there with the color turned all the way up, and an EQ just taking out the lows. And then after that, I just have an ARP created from the chords. For the synth sound, I used this preset from Nexus. And then I don't know if you heard, but on the top over here, I have some notes playing as a string preset, and I just used this string staccato preset from Flex. Adding the strings just kind of fills up the mix a little bit. And then for this, I put a Fruity Blood overdrive in here, but nothing done to it, just the preset thrown in there. Now for the drums. I have the same drum pattern from earlier from the second part of the chorus. It's just the same kick, snare pattern with the same hi-hats. But all I did is I added a little hi-hat over here. just amplifying the sound of the hi-hats for the chorus. Now for the effects, I have a simple downlifter, another downlifter, and then leading up to the chorus I have a little like clap fill loop, and then a little sweep going into the big blasting chorus. I have a drone and another drone. Both are just really quiet, just filling up the mix in the background. So yeah, this is pretty much it for the song. For review, you start off the intro with the guitar, and then the intro bass, and then kick snare pattern in the beginning, and then after 2 bars, you add in some hi-hats and stuff. And then for the chorus, you introduce the brass chords, the synth chords. You have the arp with the strings as well. You add some sounds to the bass to make it more vibrant, kicks and snares and hi-hats from earlier. Add a hi-hat layer, add some effects as well to give it a more fuller mix and to make it in less dull of a song. After all that, here's the final result.